Have you ever looked at a Minecraft steak and thought, hey, that looks pretty good? Or what about chicken? The Minecraft movie actually made it look really good. What about pork chops or salmon or the warden? Yeah, me neither. So today I'm going to answer the question no one has asked and rank every mob by how edible they are. If you enjoy the video, like and subscribe. At 50,000 subscribers, I'm going to rank every splash text, and let's get into the rules. I'm going to be ranking these using a tier list. The tiers from top to bottom will be delicious, pretty good, tolerable, I don't know, disgusting/deadly, and inedible. This might be obvious, but I'm allowed to cook these guys. If I didn't, almost all of them would be in the disgusting tier. But I won't be preparing them in any other way. I can't grind something I don't like into a powder. And of course, this is up to my personal opinion. There aren't a lot of foods I don't like, and I will still eat even my least favorite foods if I have to. Some of you might hate seafood, but that isn't going to play a part in my list. Let's start with the classic creeper. The developers have described these mobs as being made of leaves, and in the movie they look like they're made of some sort of grass. I don't know about you, but my diet doesn't usually consist of my backyard. Plus, it's probably laced with some gunpowder, which I don't imagine would taste great either. A pretty easy disgusting tier. Pigs, on the other hand, are the complete opposite. I love pork, and while it isn't my absolute favorite meat, I'm bound to enjoy a nice pork chop. Straight to the top for you. Skeletons are next, and can you eat bones? From my research, it doesn't seem like it. Without preparing it in some way, I probably couldn't even get a bite out of a skeleton. It's getting inedible tier. Do I need to even talk about zombies? They drop literal rotten flesh. Maybe if I was a maggot, this would be more appealing. Disgusting tier. Spiders are an interesting one. Technically, they drop an edible item in-game, but it poisons you, so I don't think I would get anywhere with that. But what about the rest of its body? It turns out people do eat spiders in different parts of the world. The most common type is the tarantula, and the Minecraft spider is probably just a really big one of those. Apparently, they aren't half bad. They're described as having a nutty, sweet flavor. I still have my doubts about eating a giant bug, so I'm gonna put it in the tolerable tier. I've never actually had mutton, but I imagine it isn't too different from most other common meats. It's supposed to be a bit tougher than most, but I don't mind that. I can't say for sure, so I'll put the sheep in pretty good. Since I'm American, I'm pretty sure it's illegal to not like beef. Hamburgers are like our national food. The cow can go straight into delicious. Ah, yes, Jello. I have no idea what slimes are made of, but the closest thing we have to it is panda snot. Yeah, no thanks. Chicken is once again a very good meat. Take your spot at the top. Ghast. Ghasts are hinted at being very balloon-like, and there probably isn't a lot of skeletal structure to them. I could see them being very spongy, like a squid, but I could also see them being tough and leathery to contain whatever gas is keeping them up. Well, either way, I'm sure something that breathes fire and explodes isn't gonna be the best for you. I'll put it in I don't know, and I'll put the happy gas tier too. While pork is great, zombie piglins have their flesh rotting off of their bodies, and I'm not super excited to see what kind of food poisoning I'd get from it. Disgusting tier. I've never had calamari, but there has to be a reason it's so expensive. Apparently, it isn't super flavorful, but it's slightly sweet. Sounds nice. I'll put it in good. It would hurt my soul to eat this good boy, and it wouldn't even be worth it, since more muscular predatory animals aren't usually very good for meat. They tend to be very tough and chewy. I'll put it in I don't know. I was a little worried about eating a venomous spider, but it turns out that as long as it doesn't bite me, the venom will be dissolved in my stomach. So the cave spider goes intolerable with the other spider. Once again, I don't have a great idea about what Endermen are made of. They're pretty skinny, so they probably don't have a lot of flesh, if they're even made of flesh. I'm guessing whatever they're made of, all the spatial warping isn't going to be very good for you. Disgusting. Silverfish are another real-world bug. I couldn't find any super reliable sources about people eating them. I assume it's possible, but I'm not going to be the first one to try it. I don't know tier. Blazes are quite literally on fire. I think they're also made of some sort of stone, so it would be hard to actually take a bite out of them. Inedible tier. Magma cubes are made out of lava. I couldn't even get close to them, let alone eat it. Inedible tier. Mushrooms should, in theory, just be made out of beef, but I'm not going to trust anything that has mushrooms growing out of it. They still drop beef in game, but I don't know, man. Are you sure you want to eat that? I don't know tier. Snow golems are made out of snow, so I guess they would just be a flavorless snow cone. That's fine with me. It might be kind of refreshing. Pretty good tier. Villagers. No. The Ender Dragon is another really tough one. I would tell you about what lizards taste like and try to compare it to that, but then I realized that the Ender Dragon can do this. I don't typically like it when my lunch dissolves into explosive light beams. As soon as you kill the dragon, it would do that, so it would be hard to grab a bite. I'm pretty sure this is inedible. Ocelots are another muscly predator animal, so it probably wouldn't be super good. It will go in I don't know tier. I am told I do need more iron in my diet. Yeah, I can't eat metal. Iron Golem goes in inedible. You know the drill by now. Zombie villagers are rotting, so they're going straight into disgusting. Not only can I not eat bones, the Wither's bones are covered in deadly disease. I think if I tried to eat this, I would die. Inedible. Same thing goes for the Wither skeleton. Wasn't eating bats potentially the cause of a global pandemic? Well, as long as they aren't diseased, they're supposed to taste like a tougher chicken. Doesn't sound bad at all. Pretty good tier. Witch. No. Next, we have 5 horse things in a row. Let's rapid fire them. Horse is eaten in a lot of places all over the world, so it probably wouldn't be too bad. I would just have to watch out in case people had put performance enhancements on their horse at some point. I'll put it in pretty good. Donkey meat, on the other hand, is supposed to be lower quality than most. I'm not sure why that is, but I trust my 5 seconds of Google research. I'll put it in tolerable. Mules are supposed to taste similar to horses and cows, so I'll put them in pretty good tier. And another skeleton and another zombie. You know where they're going at this point. Endermites. This is a weird one. We know endermites are considered to be bugs because they are affected by Bane of Arthropods. But it doesn't look like any bug I've ever seen. I definitely wouldn't trust it, and I can't imagine it tasting good, so let's put it in disgusting. I'm pretty sure guardians and elder guardians are made out of rock. I don't want to break my teeth, so obviously it goes in inedible. Rabbits are another animal I haven't had, but it's supposed to taste a lot like chicken. Pretty good tier sounds about right. Shulkers are another really hard one. I don't think I could eat the shell, but I don't have any idea what the actual body of the shulker is. Is it a flesh of some kind? Or is it just another shell or something? I'm gonna play it safe and say that it's inedible, but if you know anything more about shulkers, please let me know in the comments. I love my rotten flesh to be sun-dried into jerky. Yum. I was going to put the polar bear into I don't know with the other muscly predators, but it turns out due to their diet, it can actually be really dangerous to eat polar bears. They can eat a lot more mercury than humans. I'll put it in disgusting tier, because even if it was good, I wouldn't be able to enjoy it for long. Freezing bones isn't gonna help with the fact that I can't eat them. The stray is inedible. Llamas apparently taste a lot like beef, so I would probably like it. Pretty good tier. And while I'm here, I'll put the trader llama in the same place. I don't want to talk about villagers anymore. You know where the Vindicator and Evoker are ending up. In fact, I'll just put all the other ones on the list while we're at it. Let's just move on. Can I eat a Vex? They pass through objects, so they probably would pass through my teeth. And stab me for trying. Inedible tier. Parrot meat is apparently pretty tough and stringy, so that doesn't sound great. I'll put it in I don't know. Phantoms are undead, but it doesn't really look like they're rotting. I'm still not taking any chances though. Disgusting tier. I have an aunt who ate sea turtle once. I don't remember if she liked it or not, so I guess that information was irrelevant. It's supposed to taste like a combination of fish and chicken, which doesn't sound too bad. I'll put it in tolerable, just because I've never eaten a reptile before. It always surprises me when people say they don't like seafood. I really like fish, and cod is one of the ones I've had the most. Let's put it in delicious tier. Same with salmon, too. It's a different flavor, but I also really like it. Pufferfish is eaten as a delicacy sometimes, but it has to be prepared very carefully by professionals, and even then, it can still be deadly sometimes. In case you didn't know, I'm not a professional pufferfish chef, so I'd probably die. Who knows, it could be good though. Deadly tier. The tropical fish mob represents a lot of different fish, so I'm just going to look at what the item is based on, the clownfish. You could technically eat clownfish, but they don't have a lot of meat, and it probably wouldn't taste like much because of how little there is to eat. I'll put it in I don't know. You know what's better than sun-dried rotten jerky? Rotten flesh that's been soaked in salt water 24/7. Yum. Dolphins are eaten in some parts of the world, but they aren't exactly good for you, because of all the mercury in the fish they eat. It won't kill you though, so I'll put it in I don't know. Since it's illegal to hunt and kill pandas, we don't really know what they taste like. Probably not great because of their muscular structure. I'll put it in I don't know. Ravagers are another really interesting one. They look pretty similar to cows, but they clearly are used more as war beasts than for livestock. I bet they're mostly muscle, so probably some pretty tough meat. We also have no idea what their diet is like, which could be problematic. I don't know tier. Cats are sadly eaten in a few places around the world, but they are another muscled predator animal, so they probably won't taste great. I wouldn't be happy, but I could physically do it. Fox meat is supposed to be very bland and chewy, which makes sense since they're another predator. I actually see more people saying that fox meat is gross than on some of these other mobs, so I'm gonna drop it down to disgusting. Bees are sometimes eaten around the world, but I'm still pretty skeptical about eating bugs, so I'll put it intolerable. Hoglins, at the end of the day, are just big pigs. They might be a bit more muscled, but they do still drop pork and game, so it probably wouldn't be too different. But I expect it to not be quite as good as normal pig meat, so I'll put it in pretty good. I think all the same arguments for the hoglin go for the piglin. But there are a few more moral complications, so I'll move it down to I don't know. Same for the piglin brute. I would not trust strider meat. Anything that can withstand the temperatures of molten hot lava probably wouldn't taste very good, let alone be good for you. I don't know tier. I'll have to pass on zoglin meat. I think it would kill me just as fast on my plate than if it was alive. I'm genuinely shocked to learn that people still eat axolotls to this day, and they still look like axolotls on the plate? That's a new kind of messed up. But it apparently tastes a lot like fish, so unfortunately it would probably still taste good, but I'm still only gonna put it in tolerable tier. The bioluminescence apparently wouldn't be a problem when eating a glow squid. That surprises me, so it probably would taste a lot like the normal squid. Goat meat is pretty common, and just because I haven't had it doesn't mean it wouldn't be good. Pretty good tier. The Warden. This might be the trickiest one yet. It's hard to tell what the body is made of. My guess is some kind of bone. But it's covered in skulk, which is probably soft enough to chew since it's really easy to break. But come on, there's no way that this is safe to eat. I would either die or get a ton of XP. Deadly tier. Famously, the French eat frog legs as a delicacy. My dad has actually had them. He said they're pretty good. Tadpoles are also eaten in some places. It sounds like they taste a lot like frogs, just in smaller, bite-sized portions. Can I eat an allay? They aren't intangible like the Vex, but what are they made of? They seem pretty ghostly, so would I be eating spirit energy or something? I don't think that's really possible. I'll assume they're inedible because otherwise this gets really confusing. Camel meat apparently tastes very similar to beef. Once again, I like beef, so I assume camel would be good. Sniffers are dinosaurs, and nobody knows what a dinosaur would taste like. Also, prehistoric animals can have things that our modern bodies can't consume. That's why nobody ate the woolly mammoth meatball they made a while back. I'm not sure if that would apply to the sniffer, but it certainly sounds risky. I'll put it in I don't know. I think the breeze is made of a similar material to the blaze, so it isn't edible. Unless you think that you can eat the wind that surrounds it, but I would just call that breathing. Armadillo meat tastes a lot like other rodents, which have a similar flavor to chicken. It sounds like it would be pretty good. The bog is another skeleton, but the mushrooms on its head are technically edible. In fact, you can do this in-game with mushroom stew. But I'm not going to eat mushrooms that were growing out of someone's moldy skull. No thank you. Creakings are made out of wood. We've come full circle from the beginning. First we were eating the leaves, and now we're eating the rest of the tree. This probably would break my teeth and would certainly not be good for me. Inedible tier. Finally, the newest mob added to the game, the Copper Golem, is obviously inedible. And I don't even get the iron benefits this time. That's kind of an anticlimactic way to end things, so I'll finish by talking about an animal that is technically in the game, just not as a mob. Fireflies, as it turns out, are highly toxic. If I did try to eat one, I probably wouldn't die, but I would get very sick. Still not what I want from my meal. And with that, that is maybe the weirdest video I have ever made. I wanted to challenge myself to get a video done faster than I normally do, and this was a quick, silly idea I had. I hope it was enjoyable. The next video will be something I'm really looking forward to, and I'm excited to see what you guys think. Anyway, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.